At Colina Learning Centre, we like to say that we're student-centred, that we're a student-centred school. I think many people misunderstand what student-centred means. In many schools, they think that that means you're simply kind to children, which of course is very, very important. But being student-centred is a lot more than just treating children well. Being student-centred means that you make the kids the hero of the school, the centre of the school. Everything that happens is built around them. Being a student-centred school actually means that there's probably higher expectations and bigger challenges that the learners face. You have to be very rigorous to be truly student-centred, because there's this part where the children become interested in what they want to learn, and then there's the mastery, the real, deep, authentic learning. But to get from here to here, you need self-discipline, you need hard work, and we have to create the conditions where that happens. So we put the children at the centre of our school, not only through our expeditionary learning, but also through some very deliberate practices that we have, focused around social emotional learning, around coaching, and around how we rigorously assess children in all areas of their development. I meet lots of people at Colina on open days, and I'm always telling everyone about what we're doing. And I always say, don't take my word for it, because what I say, it doesn't really matter. What matters is what the people that work here, the learning designers here, actually say and do with your children in the classroom every hour of every day. What follows is some of our learning designers sharing how they do this, how they make Colina Learning Centre a student-centred school.
So children have been setting intentions from growth, and they've been doing that by seeing our own growth maps. We modeled it for them. So they started setting their own intentions, and they went through a process of finding the area they want to grow in. And it's been through guiding questions and through a lot of feedback, but they actually found the intention that they're happy with. And once they set it up, we go through a spotlighting session to where we choose a child and we put the spotlight on them. And they state their intention, and then with the feedback that they receive from their peers, they then go ahead and make a plan for growth. Just to give you an example, one of the learners said, "Hey, I want to read more books." And the children started to help her get more specific. They were like, remember, you have to be specific, you have to say it. You have to say exactly what kind of books, how many books. So they helped her actually create the plan to where she said, I want to read for 1 hour a day, 5 books a month. And then, of course, she's going to have a reading log to where she really has to be accountable to writing her books she's reading. One of our learners said, I want to do the right thing when my friends are making bad decisions. So I just go and point to it. Like, remember your intention, it's right there. What do you need to do? Do you remember your plan? What are the steps on your plan? And you know, it's another way of being aware of where they are and where they need to be.
One thing that we're focusing on is the crew meets as being the basis of focusing on developing social and emotional skills. And that's when we come in and, for example, for younger learners, we focus on a book and we talk about, you know, what did that girl feel? Was she angry? What are you doing when you're angry? How can we make sure that we express ourselves kindly and openly? And the great thing is that the social emotional learning doesn't stop at crew meets. It goes all the way through the day and at home. And social emotional learning is something that we shouldn't talk about teaching separately. It should just happen, and that's what we're doing right now. We are talking about maths and frustration. We are talking about ELA and difficulty. We are talking about social studies and what's happening in the world. And they coexist. Even though we might try to handle them separately, they are always going to come in hand, and that's something that is complex and difficult, and it's the beauty of it all. So social emotional learning is just learning.
There was a child who was 5 years old, and he was doing his math activities, and he finished earlier, so much earlier than the other learners did. And he asked me, hey, what should I do now? What can I do now? Give me something to do. And I told him, you should go and check the others. Where do they need help? Be their help, be their guide, be there for them when they have questions. Help them to solve problems. Don't tell them what to do. Don't tell them the number that they need to write, but tell them how to think, because you know how to think. Show them how to think. And I saw him doing that. I saw him doing that many times, and he had agency in what he was doing. When we were done with the class, I asked him to come to me, and I told him, listen, I saw what you did, and it was amazing, and you did great, and you were there, you were present, you were helping. This is what you are good at. Continue doing this. What I notice when it comes to progress and when it comes to me as a learning designer tracking that progress is that slowly but surely I need to let go of their hands. As they grow, I need to give them more space. I need to let them be who they are and use that passion that they have to solve problems, to be together, to come up with ideas, to ask questions and let them answer those questions for themselves. That's what is so great about working here and about this school, that I can do that. I can let go of their hands. I can let them be who they are.